सर्वनाशकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सर्वनागुणाकान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna, the volume must be reduced a little bit. Little too high. Okay. I'm very, very happy to be amongst all of you. This wonderful center at Sarjapur Road, nicely managed by a few set of devotees. And now all of you have started your journey since Janmashtami, right? Since the Janmashtami, so you all have been coming here. So I'm very grateful to all of you for showing this interest in studying Bhagavad Gita. And we have been doing this kind of programs in many places. And now we see that very few people have interest in studying the philosophy, interest in studying the subject very nicely. So whenever we see some interested people, we feel very good, we feel very happy. So thank you very much. So let's start today's session by offering our gratitude to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So by whose mercy we are able to understand this principles of Bhagavad Gita and these teachings of Krishna consciousness in a very simplified way. So today's subject is about Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya, and primarily on establishing who is Lord Chaitanya. So how many of you know who is Lord Chaitanya? Okay, few of you, nice. So this is a very nice introduction. So let's go through this session. So we are going to see that different platforms of worship and like what is the personal recommendation of the Lord in Bhagavad Gita. So what kind of worship the Lord actually recommends, and how to worship Lord Krishna in this age, and Lord Chaitanya, how is he an incarnation of the Lord, and what is so unique about Lord Chaitanya's advent. These are the topics that we are going to see. So now there are different platforms of worship that is there. This is as the number of people are there, as the different kinds of people are there are different kinds of worship is also there. The Lord is like, He has given something for everybody. Just like various kinds of people have various inclinations, and we have various courses available for all of them, and various kinds of jobs are also available for all of them. So in the same way, the Lord is also quite reciprocative, and the kind of desire a person has, to that kind of like reciprocation the Lord also does. So He has given various systems of worship in the scriptures. So one is worship out of fear. If I don't do this, I will be punished. So this is primarily the devotion or the religious practices are practiced out of fear of punishment. That's one platform of worship. And then there is another platform is desire. Oh, you want this? You do these things, these particular rituals, and you will get this kind of benefit. So that is worship or religious principles practiced out of desire, right? And then there is another platform that is out of duty. So like now I've got a human form of life, and I have certain duties that are associated with me. So like I must do my duties. That is and if I do my duties, I will be awarded. So this is somewhat in the Vedic system of religious principles. This is somewhat like at least the minimum most to come into the civilized kind of environment. And then the highest form is the worship that is performed out of love for the Supreme Lord. because he is the supreme and he is the master. So I must render service to him. I must see like how I can please him, right? So this is just a broad classification. And if you want to like have a very detailed classifications, you may have already gone through this yoga ladder session, right? So in the yoga ladder session, you might have gone through a little more detail. So even more granular details are there, so which you may find in the future sessions. Like the bottommost thing is completely anarmic. Anarmic means not following any rules and regulations. So then next level is following certain rules and regulations, but they are not based on scriptures. So like the state rules and regulations, state laws, but they are not based on scriptures. Traffic rules and regulations, they are not based on scriptures. But if somebody follows that, that is a little better stage than not following any rules and regulations. Then better than that is God-centric rules and regulations. Rules and regulations which are mentioned in the scriptures. And better than that is following these rules and regulations but not attached to the results of following them, right? And better than that is following the rules and regulations for the purpose of attaining liberation, and better than that is like following the rules and regulations or performing the religious principles for the purpose of pleasing the Supreme Lord, right? So there are multiple gradations of worships are there. So this is broadly classified as different forms of different categories of worship. And in fact, Arjuna asked this question in Bhagavad Gita that there are many people who seem to be worshipping, who seem to be following certain religious principles, but then they are not based on scriptures. What is your comment about that, Krishna? He is asking. A Shastra Vidhi Utsrijya. They are giving up the Shastra Vidhi, and then Yajante Shraddhayamanikaha. So they are performing some worship with faith, and Tesham Nishta Tukha Krishna. So their faith, what is their faith? How will you grade their faith? He's asking to Krishna. Sattvam Ano Rajastano. So how do you actually classify them? Right? So Sattva, Rajas or Tamas. What is the kind of faith that they have? So now, what are these three things? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas? Three gunas. Okay. So what is this three gunas means?
State of mind.
Okay. These three gunas is part of what? Character of the person. Okay.
State of mind.
State of mind. Okay. Anything else?
Define that.
These three gunas are the nature by which this material nature actually functions. In Bhagavad Gita, there are 5 subject matters are there: Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, and Karma. These 5 subject matters are there. Ishvara is the Supreme Lord. He doesn't have these three gunas. And Jiva, who's Jiva? All of us. All of us, the living entities. Does the living entity have these three gunas? Does the living entity have these three gunas? No. Living entity doesn't have these three gunas. Prakriti, the material nature, has these three gunas. So Trigunatmiki Maya. This is like the Prakriti has these three gunas, which is material in nature, and it has these three gunas. Living entity, the spirit soul, Jiva, is spiritual in nature. Spirit doesn't have the three gunas. Matter has the three gunas, right? So like Sattva, Rajas and Tamas is material in nature, and living entity is spiritual in nature. That doesn't have this Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So then how are we are living entities, and how are we pulled into this three modes of nature? Yeah, this body is made of material nature, right? So this body is made of material nature, the mind is made of material nature, the intelligence is made of material nature, and they are prone to be affected by these three gunas, right? So that is how we are pulled and pushed in these directions, right? So somebody told like the state of mind. So mind is one of the material elements. Bhumir, Apa, Analo, Vayu, Kam, Mala, Buddhirevacha, Ahankara, Nityami, Vinna, Prakriti, Ashtada. So there are 8 material elements are there: the Panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, ether, and mind, intelligence, and fortitude. All of them are subject to the influence of three modes of material nature, right? So this, now, when we follow the instructions given in the scriptures, and when we come to the spiritual platform, we will not be touched by the three modes of nature. Sagunan Samadhityakan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita. So if you follow this spiritual practice, so then Sagunan Samadhityakan. You can actually go beyond the material modes of nature. And Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. You can actually be established on the spiritual platform. Right? So as being established on the spiritual platform means to be away from these three modes of nature. To be above the three modes of nature. In fact, at one point in time, when Arjuna was giving a lot of scriptural arguments, for whatever decisions he was making, for not fighting and not he was giving a lot of scriptural arguments, and then Krishna had to tell him that Traipunya Vishayo Veda, this Traipunya Bhavarjuna. So this Traipunya Vishaya Veda means what? These Vedic literatures, bulk of it is speaking about the Traipunya, three modes of nature. So, the Vedic literatures is not entirely spiritual. So, Vedic literatures is teaching us, how to do, economic development. It can teach us the astrology, astronomy, and warfare, Dhanurvidya, Ayurveda. All these things are pertaining to medical subject matters. And Traipunya Vishaya Veda, he's telling, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, that the Vedic literatures, bulk of it, 95% of the Vedic literatures are talking about the three modes of nature and how to live in this world. So now you are there in front of me, the supreme teacher, Krishna himself is there. So why are you talking about these lower subjects? Come above them. Traipunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraipunya Bhavarjuna. Right? So he is mentioning that. So this Sattva, Rajas and Tamas is primarily, if we talk about Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, that means we are talking about material nature. It's very, very implicit it is, right? So, and Arjuna is asking, E Shastra Vedi Mutsrijya, those people who are giving up the spiritual revelations and they are with faith, they are worshipping some personality or some kind of worship they are performing. So, what is it? So that is he is asking this question, is it Sattva-guna, Rajaguna or Tamaguna? What is it? Definitely it is not spiritual. Nothing spiritual will come out without scripture. Even with scriptures, sometimes it may be Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Without scriptures, so it's for sure, it is there in the three modes of nature. Right? So then Krishna actually responds saying, Yajante Satvika Devan, Yaksha Rakshamsi Rajasa, Pretan Bhuta Ganam Chane, Yajante Tamasa Jana. So he says that men in mode of goodness worship the demigods, and those in mode of passion worship demons, and those in mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Right? So this is the tantric worship, and things like that. So there also scriptural rules and regulations are there, how to perform tantric worship, and so they and passion, we will see examples of all of them. So the first is in mode of ignorance. So this is a demon called Vritasura. So he actually worshipped Lord Shiva, and then he didn't got the audience of Lord Shiva. So then he started cutting his own bodily parts and then offering into the Yajna. So then, then Lord Shiva actually appeared, and then he asked what the boon you want. So I'm pleased with your worship. So then he says that whosoever head I touch, it should burst. So and then when Lord Shiva gave the boon, he wanted to test it on Lord Shiva himself. So that's how the people in mode of ignorance are. So their worship is quite ghastly in nature, and their purpose of worship is also very destructive. So this is the worship in mode of ignorance. And worship in mode of passion. So Hiranyakashipu, he's a big demon himself, and he worshipped Lord Brahma, and then it's self-made and very, very kator, kind of tapasya. And then it is strong desire for control, subjugation, and things like that. Right? So this is also very, very well-known story, how Hiranyakashipu worshipped Lord Brahma. And this is the worship out of passion, to get control, to get power and things like that. And then worship in mode of goodness. They are according to the scriptural rules and regulations, but aiming for a better standard of material happiness, not a spiritual happiness, not a spiritual elevation, but it's for the purpose of getting better, material happiness, right? So, and the worship in pure mode of goodness, so that is desire to please the Lord, he doesn't have any idea of getting something for his own, he is actually trying to please the Lord. So, all of you have seen, This scenario, you might have seen in various homes. So the parents take care of children very nicely, and then the children keep playing and doing various things. So, but if the children come back and say that like Papa, Mama, like what do you like? No, I want to do something for you. How nice it will be, right? So that's pure goodness, that's pure devotional service, right? So to like all the time, the Lord is telling that what is it? Ego Bahunam Vidadati Nama. So like He is the one who is providing the desires and needs and necessities of all the living entities, throughout the universe, everywhere. And like hardly anybody goes back and asks like, oh Lord, like, do you want me to do something? Like, can I do something for you? Right? So that is called like pure devotional service, right? So that is worship in pure goodness. So generally what happens is, like the worship standard is like this: Kama Staisar Jnana Prapatyante Anya Devata Tam Tam Niyama Asthaya Prakritya Niyataspaya. So generally people go to worship some Devi Devata for the purpose of some kamna, for some desire, right? So sometimes I've seen people asking that, okay, like, you are worshipping this God and your desires are not fulfilled. Thoda Bhagwan ko badal ke to dekho, like you just change the Lord and see like, so different God you worship and then probably like you may get your desires done and things like that. So that is this kama jnana. That is like spoiled intelligence and powered by desire for achieving something, right? So prapadyante anna devata. So there also it is very much necessary. Prapadyante, it's a very very technical term. Prapanna means like surrender. So one must surrender to that particular devata and he should worship, and then he should follow the rules and regulations which are concerning the worship of that particular devata, and then they will be awarded whatever desires they have. So generally this is the case. So generally, hardly speaking, like very few people actually come to the point of worshipping Vishnu. Why? Especially like Hiranyakashipu and all these other demons that we have seen and many other personalities. So they hardly come to worship Vishnu. Definitely, if you worship Vishnu, whatever you ask for, you will get it. So, but the problem is, you may have a change of heart. You may not want to control anymore. You may want to serve. So that's a problem for them. They simply want to be like controllers. So this happened. You might have heard of the story of Dhruva. Story of Dhruva. So like in some time like we'll discuss it elaborately. So in a nutshell, so Dhruva was a small boy. He's a son of a big king. And he wanted to sit on the father's lap, but then his stepmother insulted him, and he was not allowed to sit on the father's lap. And she told him also that if you want to sit on the father's lap, you should go perform tapasya and please the Supreme Lord and die and take birth in my womb. Then you can dare to sit on the father's lap. So then this boy was like so much affected by that, and then he went to his mother. The mother told that, your stepmother might have been harsh, but one thing she told is good: worship Vishnu. That is very nice. So then she also encouraged him to worship Vishnu, and then he went to the forest and he performed the severe kind of tapasya, and he got the audience of the Lord. After he got the audience of the Lord, he told that Sthana Vidashit Tapasistitoham Tvam Praptavam Deva Munindrukyam. So I was performing tapasya, tapasistitoham. So for what reason? Sthana Vidashi. I wanted a bigger kingdom than my father. He didn't allow me to sit on his lap. I will get a bigger kingdom than him, right? So and tapasistitoham Tvam Praptavam. So what did I get in return? I got you. So you are very difficult to attain even for great tapasvis and great personalities, but I got you. So, and then he says, Kanchan Vichinman, Api Divyaratnam. So I was looking for broken pieces of glasses, but then I got Divyaratnam. I got your darshan. I got to meet you. And then Swami Kritatoham Varammayachu. When he came to ask for a bigger kingdom, after getting the darshan of the Lord, he was like, no, now I don't have any more desires. Now all my desires are completely satisfied just simply by taking darshan of you. Right? So, but then still the Lord told, your worship cannot go in vain, and definitely whatever you ask for, I will definitely give. So that's how the Guru Nakshatra, the Guru planet was created by the Lord just for him, and like this was given. So definitely, like whoever approaches Vishnu, so they will have whatever they aspire for. But then along with it, there will be transformation of heart. So but the demons don't want that. Right? So they just simply want whatever they want. They don't want anything else apart from that. In fact, they tell, whomever devata they worship, they tell that, these things are what I want, and you just give me and you get lost. I'll take care of it. So that's how their worship is. But then, so this is driven by the kama, the desire of sense gratification. And then yo yam yam tanam bhakta shraddhaya chikam ichchati tasya chalam shraddham tam eva vidatam yaham. So you see that people have different desires and they worship various personalities. Here the word the demigod means like powerful personalities who are official heads of various departments in this universe. Like Indra is there. Indra is head of which department? Indra. Rains. Varuna? Varuna is water. Like oceans and water bodies and things like that, right? And then Vayu is there. And then Surya, which department? Electricity department. And then also another? Energy. Ayurveda, medicine. Surya Dev is a healing personality. If you go to an Ayurvedic doctor with any ailment, they will say like, please sit in the sun for half an hour. So, like, you have, by the grace of Surya Dev, you can actually cure a lot of diseases. And moon, Soma, moon like gives taste of fruits and vegetables, flavor, vanaspati. So like, and then it controls the tides in the ocean, and the moon also controls the mind of the people, So that's why when people go mad, they are called lunatic. So, like the mind is very much tightly controlled, connected to the moon. So, like this, various devatas are there, So they are departmental in charges of various departments in this universe, and they have limited capacity. They have limited capacity to award, right? So they are also living entities like us. So, but because of their tapasya and because of their good behavior, they have been given departmental in charges. They are not the Supreme Lord themselves. So, it is mentioned that every manmantra means there is, in one day of Brahma, there are 71 manmantras. So, what is it? 14 manus are there, 14 manmantras are there. In that 71, each manmantra, there are 71 cycles of Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali. And for that period, these Devi Devatas will rule. They will have the powers. So one mantra changes. All their positions are, has to be changed. Just like government. Now for 5 years they are the rulers. After that, like new government, new cabinets, right? So the same way this Devi Devatas, so they have a new cabinet. For like after the 71 cycles of Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali. So now these personalities, they have all departmental in charges, so they have certain powers to do, to award something to their devotees. And in that way, like the Lord is telling that if somebody wants to worship a particular devata, I give them the faith to worship that particular devata, and indirectly I only give the results of worshipping that particular devata, right? So this is something that he mentions. So even the results are bestowed by him alone. And then antavantu phalam tesham tat bhavati alpamedasham devan deva yajo yanti mat bhakta yanti mamapi. So he says that these results that are got from worshipping these Devi Devatas, they are antavantu phalam tesham. So they have a limit, they have an extent to which it actually functions. It's temporary. Antavantu phalam tesham means the fruits that we got from such worship of the Devi Devatas. So it is having a limit and it's temporary, right? And then Tad Bhavati Alpamedasam. So one who is very not very greatly intelligent, so he will go for these small time fruits, like that. And Devan Deva Ejo Yanti, Mat Bhakta Yanti Mamati, right? So those who worship the demigods go to the planets of those demigods, and those who worship like the Supreme Lord, they go to Vaikuntha. So Vaikuntha is a place which is permanent place, which is beyond this material creation. And all the Devi Devatas, they have their kingdom or they have their planets within this material creation, right? So, like an intelligent person will think that, if I go to any destination within this material creation, again I have to die, again I have to take birth again, I have to go through the cycle again. So I should aim for that destination, going where I will not take, again this birth and death cycle, will not happen. So that is a primary this one. So this worship of the Devi Devatas is considered to be on a little lower platform, and then the next platform is the worship of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So where, one can go to the Vaikuntha, so where to reside on a permanent basis, right? So there is, if that is the worship that is very important, so then why at all the worship of Devi Devatas is mentioned? So Srila Prabhupada in one of his books he mentions, there are many rules and regulations for worship of demigods in the scriptures, and one may question why the Vedic literatures recommend their worship. There is necessity. Those who are motivated by lust want opportunity to love something, and the demigods are acknowledged as the officers of the Supreme Lord. The idea is that as one worships these demigods, he will gradually develop Krishna consciousness. But if one is completely atheistic and disobedient and rebellious against any authority, what's the hope? So one's obedience to a higher personality can start with the demigods. From there it can actually gradually go towards surrendering unto the Supreme Personality of God. Right? So this is the various kinds of worships that are mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. And then what is the personal recommendation? The Lord says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Right? So you don't get deviated into these different kinds of worships. So you perform worship to me alone. So it is very natural and it is very legitimate. So because we are part and parcel of that Supreme Lord. The Vedic scriptures always talk about that one absolute truth, one Supreme Lord, right? So it is sometimes people ask the followers of Vedic scriptures, the Sanatana Dharmis. So are they polytheistic or monotheistic? What is that? Polytheistic or monotheistic? Do we have many gods or one God? Huh? We have one God, right? So we have one God, that is always the scriptures talk about Ekam Eva Advitiya. That absolute truth is one only. There is no second personality that exists, right? So in fact the Vedic scriptures say Vayam Vidya Davinivesha Tasya Isham Ape Tasya Viparyayo Mukha. So those people who think that there is second reality exists apart from the Supreme Lord, so they actually come in, that's the source of fear. That's the Vedic way of defining fear. What is fear? Fear means Vayam Vidya Davinivesha Tasya. So once you see the Vidya reality or second reality that exists apart from the Supreme Lord, so that becomes a cause of fear, for the person, for the living entities. So Krishna actually mentions that everything is part and parcel of him. He mentions that Bhumi Rama Analavaya, all these Panchabhutas, he says that Vinna Prakriti Rashtada, so these are my separated energies. And then he says that Apareya Mitaspanyam, Prakritin Vidhi Me Param, Jiva Bhuta Mahabahu, Geyam Narede Jagat. Apart from these material energies, I have another superior energy. What is that energy? Jiva Bhuta. All of us, living entities. We are all part and parcel of the Lord. So in fact, Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that, Mama Evamsha Jiva Bhuta, Jiva Loka Sanatana. Mama Eva Amsha, Jiva Bhuta. He says that, all the living entities are his parts and parcels. So Srila Prabhupada gives a very simple example that this hand is your part of your body, right? And this hand is going to cooperate with you. Right? So that is when it is a normal scenario. So but if the hand doesn't cooperate with you, so then what will happen? So you want to take this glass, but it is not, it's not cooperating with you. Well, you want to, do something cleanse your body or do some action through this hand, and it is not cooperating. So then it is called diseased. So diseased, if the hand is diseased, then it will also have pain in it, right? So in the same way, when the living entities don't cooperate with the Lord, so they are called as deceased or materially conditioned, and there must be misery. No, there must be difficulties over there, right? So it's quite natural. The Lord says that no sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. So sometimes when people hear this, they say like, no, is the Lord very egoistic kind of a person? Where he's just telling that, you just surrender to me and things like that. So, like, what is this kind of, why is he so? So, but then if we understand the rest of this is just a portion of the truth. The rest of the portion of the truth is, as we discussed that, what is that? Eko Bahunam Yovidadati Kaman. So he is that one person who's fulfilling the desires of all the living entities. Like, you see, like, if somebody has a desire that, he wants to become a rich man, very, very rich man. So Lord takes a note, okay, this guy has a desire to become rich. And then, like, he will induce him to perform such activities, so that, he will get sufficient punya, and, the Lord can actually make him rich. All the desires that we have is meticulously noted down by Paramatma, who's sitting in the heart, and then he ensures that you get it. Even in the next lifetime, you forget it. The Paramatma reminds, you wanted to become like this. Now there is a chance you become. So he actually makes a note and he ensures that all your desires are fulfilled. Right? So now, how many of you have maids at home? Okay. So if the maid comes home and says like, today I don't have mood to do whatever things that you're telling, like you yourself do it. Now how will you feel? And she comes home and tells that. It will be like very ridiculous, right? So something such ridiculous thing actually we are doing it to the Lord. The Lord is the master and we are the servants. And what is the Lord doing sitting as Paramatma? He's doing like Hanumanta, Upadrishta, Bharta, Bhokta, Manishina. He says, he does like, all that desires that you have, he makes a note, and then he tries to serve you, with all your, whatever you wanted to have, like he's trying to serve you. So that is what he's telling. And then sometimes he tells like, मैं तो भगवान हूँ, you are my servant, कभी कभी सेवा भी किया करो. So that is like, extreme levels of tolerance, extreme levels of tolerance. So when the Lord says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, he has full right. Just like when you say to your maid, like, this is your work and you should get it done. Right? So I pay you. Something like that. So it is here the Lord maintains us. The Lord maintains us, like he protects us, he does everything for us, and then he just says that. Why does he say this? Because it is our natural position. If we render service to the Supreme Lord, we will actually be very, very happy. Right? So, like out of interest for us, actually Lord says this. And the service is not like the service of this world, like where the servant is treated like a servant. So here, you see like, Krishna is actually massaging the feet of another, actually it's Balram. So like, Krishna serves, his devotees, He serves, like, it is not that one-way traffic, The spiritual world is a competition of service. The material world is a competition of, what's the competition here? Competition of exploitation. And when we want to go back to the spiritual world, this is the training that we have, how to render service to the Lord. Right? So now, so worship of Krishna is in 5 categories that are there. So Santa, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. So these are the 5 kinds of relationship a person can have with the Supreme Lord. And Shanta Rasa means just appreciation of the Lord. And Dasya means to render service to the Lord. And then, like Sakya means, along with service, there is intimacy. Like for example, Krishna's friends. Sometimes, Krishna gets defeated in the game, with their friends, and then Krishna has to take them on his shoulders and run for a certain distance. Right? So he does that. He does that. And then Vatsalya is parental affection. So Mother Yashoda thinks that if I don't feed Krishna, he will die. He is the one who is feeding entire creation. But then, she thinks like this. And Krishna actually likes that kind of a love. And Madhurya is the affection of the gopis that they have towards Krishna. So these are all different ways of worship, that one can have with the Supreme Lord. And how to worship Lord Krishna in this particular age in every age, Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali, the incarnations of the Lord, they come and they actually teach the method of worship, for that particular age. The method of worship that is conducive for that particular age, right? So, for this age, how do we actually, worship the Supreme Lord? So this is nicely revealed in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is mentioned, Krishna Varnam, Tushar Krishnam, Sandho Kangastra Parshalam, Yekne Sankirtanam Praya, Yajanti Sumedasa. So he says, it is mentioned in Bhagavatam that Krishna Varnam, Tushar Krishnam. So an incarnation of the Lord will appear in this age. In every age, the Yuga Dharma is taught by the Yuga Avatar. Lord actually appears in that particular age and he teaches. What is the Yuga Dharma in the age of Satya Yuga? Tapasya, meditation, right? And Lord came as Hamsa and then he taught the Tapasya, that particular form of worship. And then this one in the age of, Treta Yuga? So the Lord's name, the incarnation of the Lord who appeared and taught this, his name is also Yajna. So his Yajna Purusha. He actually appeared and he appeared with all the paraphernalia to perform the Yajna and then he taught. So in this way, every age, the Lord personally appears and he teaches the residents that how to actually perform the worship in that particular age. So in Kali Yuga also Krishna appears and then how does he appear? Sangho Angastra Parshalam. So he comes along with his associates and his weapons. And then what will he do? Ignite Sankirtana Praye. So he will perform this yajna, that is Sankirtan yajna. And then Yajanti Sumedasara. So people, the intelligent people of this age, will actually perform the worship that is taught by this incarnation in this way. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. And this incarnation, this prediction is about the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that incarnation of Krishna who appeared and who actually distributed the holy name, chanting of the names of the Lord. So, and Krishna Varnayati, he constantly chanted the names of Krishna, right? So that is one this one. And then Lord Chaitanya appeared to teach the Yuga Dharma. So he is Krishna himself. He is not blackish or Krishna. So and then he taught the worship method for the age of people by personal demonstration, right? So that is this one, that is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then there are other references are there. So in the Garuda Puran, so it is mentioned Aham Purno Bhavishyami Yuga Sandhyo Visheshataha. So Yuga Sandhya. So if you see, now are we in Kali Yuga? Actually we are in the Yuga Sandhya. It's not Kali Yuga fully manifest. No, now itself it's so much of things are happening, right? So Kali Yuga fully manifest, it is quite difficult for gentlemen to live in Kali Yuga, right? So Yuga Sandhya, the Lord actually appears in Yuga Sandhya. So, and then Maya Pure Navadvipe Bhavishyami Sachi Sutaha. So the Lord appeared in the holy Dham of Navadvip, right? So that is present in the in the current this one of territory of West Bengal. So in Mayapur, in the place of appearance of Lord Chaitanya, so ISKCON is actually building a very, very huge temple, and it has been envisioned and predicted by many, many acharyas in the line of disciplic succession. And this temple is very shortly it's going to be inaugurated. It's been the construction is going on for decades now. So it's going to be a temple of Vedic planetarium. So this temple will host the Vedic view of the entire universe. So which is quite different from what we have studied in our geography and things like that. So anyways, this is the place of appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this is his mother's name is Sachi Mata. So the scriptures actually give reference to the incarnations of the Lord, where they will appear, which family they will appear, and what will be their particular activities. So that is why in the Bhagavatam, the incarnations of the Lord are called scheduled incarnations. the Lord comes as per schedule. No, he actually appears as per schedule. So it is not very astonishing that scriptures actually predict these incarnations, because it's scheduled incarnation. It's bound to come. Like the Lord is supposed to come at that particular time, so he comes, and then he teaches the particular syllabus. No, that's necessary for that particular time. And then in Narsimha Purana it is mentioned, Satye Aita Purani Nasha Samaye Asimmodva Madhyak Kritis Trepayam Dashakandaram Haribavan Rameti Namaskruti Gopalam Paripalayan Rajapure Brahma Karan Vapare Gauranga Priya Kirtana Kali Yuge Chaitanya Nama Prabhu. Right? So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who in the Satya Yuga appeared as half man, half lion, to cure a terrible disease that had ravaged the Daityas, and who in the Treta Yuga appeared as the person named Rama, Lord Ramachandra, the person who defeated the 10-headed demon Ravana, and who in Dwapara Yuga removed the earth's burden and protected the Gopas, cowherd men, people of Rajapura, will appear again in the Kali Yuga. His form will be golden. He will delight in chanting the Lord's holy names. And his name will be Chaitanya. Right? So it is predicted in Narsimha Purana also. And Vishnu Sahasranam. So how many of you chant Vishnu Sahasranam? Okay, a few of you, like this sloka may be like very much familiar to you. Swarna Varna Hemango Varangas Chandanango Sanyasakru Chamachanto Nishta Shanti Parayana. So there is Swarna Varna, Hema Anga. No? Hema Anga means like, Hema Varna means like golden color. No? Hema Anga means like golden body. Right? So Swarna Varna, Hema Anga, Varangas Chandanangadi, Sanyasakrit. So that personality, that incarnation of the Supreme Lord who took sannyas, no? That's the only reference to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in his appearance, in his pastimes, no, he actually took sannyas, no, for the purpose of spreading the names of Krishna, everywhere. So he did that, Nishta Shanti Parayana. So he has a golden complexion, Suvarna Varna, and beautiful limbs smeared with sandalwood pearl, Varandas Chandanangadi. And then he has the appearance of molten gold, like Hema Anga. And he accepts sannyas. He is self-controlled, peaceful, and completely fixed in chanting the names of Lord Krishna. He is the highest abode of devotion and transcendental peace. Right? So this is a reference to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. And then why then Lord Chaitanya is commonly known? All the incarnations are known. But then why Lord Chaitanya's appearance is commonly not very much known? So that is mentioned by Prahlad in Bhagavatam. He says that Ittam Nirtriyu Rishideva. This Nya is put as Ja. Nyas Vathare Lokan Vibhavyasi Hamsi Jagat Pratithan Dharmam Mahapurusha Yuga Nuvrittam Channak Kalau Yat Abhavas Triyugota Sattvam. So this is Channak Kalau Yat Abhavas. Channa means like hidden. So the Lord's appearance in the Kali Yuga, though it is openly described in the scriptures, somehow or other people actually miss it. So because of the desire of the Lord, the Lord actually comes as a hidden incarnation, because here he is not showing himself as the Supreme Lord as he generally does in other incarnations. Here he comes in the mood of a devotee of the Lord, right? So he comes in the mood of devotee of the Lord and he chants, he practices and shows the path of devotion, right? So at that time, if people recognize him as the Supreme Lord, it's going to be a hindrance in the segregation of the pastimes. So that is why generally, the incarnation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not very well known, in this, though it is there in the scriptures, but it is not very well known, right? So that's what Prahlad is actually mentioning. And is Lord Chaitanya's incarnation is just another incarnation? So is it something special about this incarnation? So it is one of the shlokas that describes like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurak Vishay Namaha. So again, the same, this one, Hemanga, so the same thing, Gaurak Vishay, So like the same golden form that has been spoken about. And he is mentioned as Namo Mahavadanyaya. He is the most beneficent. That means he is the most charitable person, he gives the best of the benedictions or best of the gifts, that one can actually get. So what is that gift? That is Krishna Prema, Pradayate. So this Krishna Prema, this is again a technical term. So Krishna Prema means the qualification to enter into the spiritual world. Generally, the qualification to enter into the spiritual world is not so easily given. It takes lots and lots and lots of time. It's not so easy that somebody practices devotion and then within short period of time or within one lifetime, they attain the perfection. So that's generally not heard of. That's generally they perform devotion for many lifetimes to attain perfection. But then the speciality of the incarnation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that he freely distributes this Krishna Prema, and that is Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtan. So this powerful form of worship, that is chanting of the names of the Lord, though it may appear to be a simple thing, just chanting, people did meditation, performed big yajnas and big things they did, and how is this so powerful? But then this is the most powerful thing that is mentioned in the scriptures, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and distributes this chanting of the names of the Lord, imbued with the potency to award Krishna Prema or the qualification to enter into the spiritual world. So it's a very, very powerful process that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually gives. And somebody may ask, why of all times in Kali Yuga this has to be distributed? So because as the disease is more acute, the medicine also must be very strong. So like that. So it is the Kali Yuga is the most notorious age and most difficult age for anybody to perform devotion. And any other lightweight methods does not work. So it only high power intravenous medicine only will work in this Kali Yuga. So that's how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he actually brings this very, very powerful medicine. And then this is mentioned in one of the bhajans, Tapi Tapi Jeta Chilo Harinama Udarino Kara Sakshi Jagai Madai. So this is a picture of this particular pastime. So there was two very notorious rogues, Jagai and Madai. They were born in a Brahmana family. So originally their names were Jagadananda and Madhavanand. But then they became because of bad association, they actually take up to very sinful habits. There is no sin that they have not performed. So that was their condition. So but then, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, so Nityananda Prabhu is the incarnation of Balaram. So whenever the Lord comes, Lord comes as Narsinghadev, so that's Krishna's expansion, and then Anantasesh, the Balaram's expansion, also accompanies, right? So Lord Mahavishnu, it's Krishna's expansion, and then the Ananta Shayana, is Balaram's expansion. So all the time the Lord's expansions, they actually come together with them. So by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, these two personalities who were completely sinful, so they actually got into this practice of chanting the names of the Lord, and they actually became very, very exalted devotees. So this is the power of the simple but very profound process of Sankirtan, and the Supreme Lord who comes in this age to distribute this process is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we saw few references, maybe we will forward in the rooms, many other references from many other Puranas. So in that way, worship of Lord Chaitanya is quite authentic, according to the scriptures. So this is a little bit of introduction of this particular subject of about Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now we pause. Any questions or comments in this particular subject? No, devotees can ask. Hare Krishna. Yes. Your name? Dhiren. Okay. Jagannath. Jagannath Dev, he actually appeared in Satyayuga itself, and then Lord Brahma actually coronated or installed the deity of Jagannath in Satyayuga, and then in fact Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he spent maximum of his life, he spent his time in Jagannath Puri. So it's Jagannath's appearance and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance have a very, very intimate connection. So maybe in some of the future sessions we'll discuss. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance is incomplete without Jagannath. So he's a great, it's quite a difficult subject now. So we will discuss sometime. So in that way, to complete the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in Kali Yuga, so Jagannath's role is very, very important. In that way, we can say that Jagannath is also a very important personality in Kali Yuga. But then this installation actually happened in Satya Yuga itself. Yes. Any other question? 500 years before, we have the calendar. ISKCON actually follows a calendar which is starting from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. I will exactly tell you how many years have passed. So this is Gaurabda 537. So 537 years before this appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He lived for 48 years. 24 in the Navadvip or in the Mayapur, that region that we talked about, and rest 24 in Jagannath Puri. And in that 24, 6 years he traveled all around India. So he stayed in Srirangam in South India for quite a long time. So for 3 to 4 months he actually stayed, and then he visited many places in South India like Anantapadmanabha Swami Temple and Tirupati and many places like Shimachalam and Ahobilam and many places he visited. So now the devotees are trying to place the lotus feet imprints of Sri Chaitanya in all these different places, wherever he traveled. Okay, any other questions? Or few of you would like to share some things which you liked in this particular session? Yeah?
What is the meaning of rajas? What is the meaning of that tapas, rajas?
Sattva, rajas and tamas. Okay, your name?
Shekhar.
So Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Sattva means Sattva Guna, that is mode of goodness, and Rajas means the mode of passion, and Tamas means the mode of ignorance. And these three are the nature of these three are the ingredients with which the material nature is composed of. So now if you see the time of the day, the early morning is considered to be in the mode of goodness, and daytime is considered to be in the mode of passion, and night is considered to be in the mode of ignorance. And foods, if you take, there are classifications. Bhagavad Gita gives elaborate classification of foods. Foods in mode of goodness, foods in mode of passion, and foods in mode of ignorance. And then Bhagavad Gita also tells that if you indulge with a particular mode, you will actually acquire that mode. If you karanam guna sangosya, sadasatyoni janmashu. There are different species of life is there. It's because of we take a conscious choice of associating with a particular mode, and we get that particular kind of a body. Right? So now, if we want to practice spirituality, so we take a conscious decision that we want to be in touch with mode of goodness. So the spiritual practitioners rise early in the morning, and then they take foods which are in the mode of goodness, and then they perform work which is in mode of goodness. So like that. So these various things when we perform, so then we actually switch our modes, like that. So sometimes people say we have problem of anger, problem of fickleness and things like that and all. So then it's fickleness means it's tend to mode of ignorance, and anger sometimes in the mode of ignorance and mode of passion. So if we want to give up, so then we have to switch the modes. And how do we switch the modes? We come in contact with higher modes. Like that. Anybody would like to share some things which you heard in today's session? Oh, is there a mic also? Extra mic? No?
I have a question. So one of the slides you have talked about rules, scripture-based rules. In all the scriptures, some rules are mentioned. How can we offer our prayer or worship to God. So we do not get an opportunity, most of us do not get an opportunity to read all the scriptures, to learn about all the rules and regulations, worship Lord. So in order to worship Lord, do we have to, maybe religiously abide by all the rules, or just by chanting Lord's name will not help us to get closer to Lord?
Okay, so the question is that, one of the slides I presented, I talked about there are various rules and regulations are there in worshipping the Supreme Lord. So, like if I just chant, is that not sufficient, or should I follow all the rules and regulations? So chanting is definitely very, very important, activity to be performed. So let's understand what is the basic, this one of foundation of the rules and regulations which are mentioned in the scriptures. So the rules and regulations are like, everything that exists is part and parcel of the Lord, and everything should be rightfully used in the service of the Lord, right? So that's the original rule, like it is mentioned that Smartavyam Satatam Vishnu Vismartavyam Najatuche Sarve Vidhi Nishedashu Etayor Evakinkara. So like all the rules and regulations, Sarve Vidhi and Nisheda. These are the do's and don'ts. Sarve Vidhi Nishedashu Etayor Evakinkara. So there is, all the rules and regulations are servant of one primary rule. Now what is that primary rule? Like Smartavyam Satatam Vishnu Vismartavyam Najatuche. Always remember the Supreme Lord and never forget Him, right? So this is the primary rule, and all other rules and regulations are subservient to that particular rule. And now this is the very, very basic foundation of all the scriptural rules and regulations. And top of it, now how does this rules and regulations actually are composed of? So how to actually worship the Supreme Lord? So for that, I need to know what does the Lord likes and what does the Lord doesn't like, right? So He is also a person, Supreme Personality of God. So we need to understand the likes and dislikes of the Lord, and then we need to understand how to deal with this world, how to deal with the people in this world, how to deal with various entities that are there. So all of them are also part and parcel of the Lord. When we deal in a particular way, it's considered to be inappropriate. When we deal in another particular way, it's considered to be an appropriate way. It's not that I like the Lord, I want to just go towards the Lord. No, it's not that simple. The Lord means who? The Lord means the Lord Himself and all His parts and parcels. His creation is also part of the Lord, right? So, we need to see how to actually deal with this creation. How to deal with the devotees of the Lord, how to deal with the common people, how to deal with the paraphernalia of the Lord. So all these concerns various rules and regulations. As we advance, we need to understand them and we need to follow them. Right? So initial starting can start with chanting. So that's the primary component which has to continue throughout. So as we progress, we become more and more educated in the scriptural rules and regulations that we follow. And that just like initially when we start driving, we may not know all the rules and regulations of the traffic, right? So then as we continue, we learn, we learn. So as we take work, we don't know the rules and regulations of the state, and then the parents' guide and things like that. And over a period of time, you understand the rules and regulations of the state, right? So like that. So as we gradually go, so we master Bhagavad Gita, we master the other scriptures. So then we know the rules and regulations. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to distribute this Harinam Sankirtan. So this Sankirtan means to distribute the names of the Lord and the glories of the Lord, and over a period of time, like in the Parampara, so the Acharyas have devised many ways of performing this Sankirtan. So one of the ways which is in the form of publication of the books, the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and many other books that you see, And the Acharyas actually encouraged us, Srila Prabhupada actually encouraged us that we distribute this literature more and more. So this is recorded Kirtan. The Acharya has actually given the commentaries, very wonderful explanations for the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. And then when we go and distribute these books to other people, so when they read, it's like a recorded Kirtan, they are going to actually hear about the message of the Supreme Lord. It's a very powerful this one. And the Sarjapur and the Panapur, these two centers, we call them as Rajabhumi Circle. And the book distribution, like last 1 month, more than a month, like almost 2 months. So they have been working very hard. And probably some of you also might have got involved in this book distribution marathon, which we call. So every year we do this once. And all the devotees, they try their best to go out and distribute the literatures, this Bhagavad Gita and these literatures. So, okay. So here is some nice quote.
It's a video actually.
Oh, it's a video, okay. If you can play this video.
And while he was waiting for food, he saw one magazine and he started to read that magazine. What was that magazine? Back to God Adventure. And as he started to read that magazine, he became interested because in that magazine, in one article program mentioned, if you want to know about God, come to me. And that struck him. That here is a person who is going to give the holy understanding. And then he contacted our temple in Frankfurt and got more books. And as he read the books, he became more and more convinced. And then he wanted to join. So when he went to the temple and when they found that he was an Arab, he was a Muslim, because Germany was very much traumatized by the massacre in the Olympics, where the Arabs actually killed the Palestinian Israeli Catholics. So they had big mistrust for the Muslims. So they kind of thought the Catholics because so they just told him, yeah, you can practice it at home, you don't have to come and join it. And he was an intelligent person, so he could understand why they are refusing it politely. So he asked, can you please give me the dress you wear? And so they said, yes, you can buy a dhoti kurta. So he took the dhoti and kurta, he went to a barber shop, shaved up his head, put on the devotee clothes. He went to the other temple that was in Berlin. And he went to Berlin and he told the devotees there that he has been sent from Frankfurt to join in Berlin. So that's how he actually joined. And eventually he became initiated by Srila Prabhupada. His name became Ravanari Das. And he translated Bhagavad Gita into Arabic. He was the one who translated it. Unfortunately, he left his body last year. See, this is the potency of Srila Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada's presentation. Just a magazine, just by reading a Back to Godhead magazine, one became a devotee.
Hare Krishna. So, if some of you have not heard it properly, so this is an Arab who actually gets hold of a magazine and he sees that it's quite interesting and then he wants to practice. So then he approaches the temple and then they refuse him to take him. And then he makes a trip and he goes to another temple and then he joins and he gets initiated by Srila Prabhupada. That means it is 50 years old story. And then he translates the Bhagavad Gita into Arabic language, right? So it's a nice revelation of that. So these books of Srila Prabhupada have transformed the lives of many, many people all around the world. Oh, many Krishnas are there. So, like, they have transformed the lives of many, many people, all around the world. In fact, Srila Prabhupada used to say, there are many, many versions of, editions of Bhagavad Gita that has been published, but how many people actually became a lover of God? How many people actually became a devotee of Krishna? So this Bhagavad Gita, which is translated, very, with a lot of fidelity and a lot of care by Srila Prabhupada, is actually making so many devotees, thousands of devotees all around the world. And here is a nice summary of the books distributed by this wonderful center. Like this. Huh? Okay, Sarjapur and Sarjapur together. Okay. So like small books, 175, medium books, 4, big books, 71, and Maha big books. So Bhagavad Gita and all comes in the Maha big books. So this is based on the number of pages that they have. So like 5,383, Bhagavad Gitas and books. And then 16 whole volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So it's like a total of 5,649 books that are distributed. So all glories to these wonderful devotees. And how many of you got an opportunity to distribute the Bhagavad Gita in this month? Some of you? Okay. You okay? Few of you. Nice experience. Hare Krishna. So thanks a lot for this wonderful service. These are all some things that you can mention.
Hare Krishna. So these are some of the places that we covered during the Gita Jayanti day and during Ekadashi, and rest of the days as well. And throughout the week, we used to actually go whenever. And most of the devotees, everyone is working. It's very difficult. But then what happens is every devotee wants to spread the mission as Prabhupada wanted, Srila Prabhupada wanted. And even if it was very busy, and at the end of the day, they would actually go at least for 1 hour and stand near a supermarket, stand near a tech park. I have known so many mothers actually go in the afternoon. So many senior citizens actually go in the afternoon during the lunch break and actually distribute the Bhagavad Gita. Right? They know they are very strategically doing these things because they know tech parks. Afternoon is the time when the people actually come out for having lunch, and that's when they actually go near the tech parks and actually distribute the Bhagavad Gita. And then there are various apartments. A lot of devotees actually, in their apartments, they have actually spread the message, and we actually kept a stall and actually distributed Bhagavad Gita. And then there are shopping malls, shopping centers. We have covered that as well, where a lot of devotees during peak hours, maybe Friday evening or Saturday evening, they actually go to the shopping centers and actually distribute the Bhagavad Gita there as well. Yes, so, and these were the big days. So one of the big days was, it started on December 1st and we ended the book distribution on Jan 13th, that was yesterday. Right? So Gita Jayanti day and Vaikuntha Ekadashi, we actually had a huge number of devotees actually coming, because that's when actually it's very auspicious also to distribute the Bhagavad Gita and take Lord home. And that's when we had the maximum number of books also distributed on that particular day. So we had 100 plus devotees distributed books through the day, starting at 4 a.m. in the morning and winding up at 9:30. There were some of devotees who were there throughout the whole day, right? Some of them didn't take a break at all, right? This was successful because this time we actually had we had done it in various different locations as well. So 11 different locations on a single day. Right? We sold 590 books on a single day, sir. 590 books distributed, and that's a record score for Rajamukhi sessions. And we sold 3 Srimad Bhagavatam sets as well. Right, so big day, 2nd and 1st Jan, when the whole of Bangalore party had a night party, devotees set up the stall. So this was actually a Vaikuntha Ekadashi. So while the entire Bangalore were partying whole night, we actually went the next day morning and we were actually waiting near the temples. 31st, sorry. And then we had entire devotees actually wake up in the morning and waiting near the temples. to meet the pious people and distribute the Bhagavad Gita. This was a great success as well. We distributed 467 books that was distributed, the second highest record score for Vajrabhumi Circle, and 3 Srimad Bhagavatam texts. These are some of the pictures from the various devotees actually distributing the Bhagavad Gita and the various scriptures. We took some photographs from the Panasur sector and the Sarjapur sector. We had prasadam also, thanks to Hariksheta Prabhuji. We had prasadam also from the temple coming to devotees, because they know that devotees are out and they just wanted to give prasadam. So we had prasadam in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night as well. Small kids, yes. So little Vaishnavas and little Vaishnavis also, a lot of them actually came out and distributed. We had some of them actually because you can't reject a book, right? When you have a small kid actually coming to you and giving you a Bhagavad Gita. So that was a success as well. We had a lot of books that were sold that way as well. Shastradan, we got devotees, got sponsorship of 4,81,000. That's towards Shastradan. And we planted the seed of devotion in more than 1,750 school children. So what we did was we asked the students to actually write Hare Krishna Mahamantra 108 times in a paper. And once they wrote that, the little kids, we actually gave the Bhagavad Gita to them. So this was the school that we had distributed. Some of the pictures. So near Gayatri Temple, if I'm not wrong. So total Sarjapur book distribution, it was 848 Mahabig books. We had distributed 6 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Yes, some of the takeaways: nurture the humility for the whole congregation by begging to everyone to take books, hankering to fulfill the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. Now, a lot of people actually, for the first time, are a little reluctant to actually go. But it's the first step that is very important, because everyone starts somewhere, right? So it's very nice. This time we saw a lot of devotees for the first time